All right, you are committed this time. You have decided this will be the time that you will lose the weight once and for all. Your diet, pristine. You're following it to the letter. You're not cheating at all. You're getting all of your training in. You're hydrating like a champ, and you are making sure that you're getting in your sleep. Monday rolls around, you step on the scale, it's up 3 pounds. What the hell gives? Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Taylor, co-owner of Vegan Proteins Online Coaching. And today we're gonna be talking about why the scale might actually go up on you at the beginning of a diet. And if you are a plant-based eater, or you want to be, but you also wanna know how to build muscle, burn fat, feel your best, look your best in a sustainable way, be sure to click the subscribe button because we put out videos every week. Recipes, meal plans, tips, tricks, all the science, none of the fluff, right here every week. This might be one of the most frustrating phenomenons for anybody who goes on a weight loss journey. And it happens, I would say, more often than it does not happen, and I really wanna talk about why. So first, I'm gonna assume that your diet is set up correctly. What do I mean by that? I mean that your caloric deficit is set up at a maintainable and sustainable pace. So what I mean is if you have your calories set at 1200 and you are nailing that sucker Monday through Friday, but you're also starving and miserable, and then come Saturday and Sunday, you eat an entire birthday cake. That's why the scale is going up at the beginning of your diet. If your caloric deficit had been set up in a more sustainable place from the get-go, you would probably be able to maintain it all the way through the week and get much better results. So I'm not talking about that. I've made umpteen million videos about why you shouldn't set your caloric deficit too low. If you think you might be in that position, go watch this video, or this video right now, and then come back. But let's say your diet is set up in a sustainable way. You have a moderate calorie deficit. You're introducing appropriate amounts of strength training and cardio. You're hydrating and you're sleeping. Why the hell would the scale go up, especially if you're coming from a much more unhealthy lifestyle where you're not sleeping well or hydrating, you're kind of eating all willy-nilly and you don't exercise at all? How on earth could the scale go up from that? Let's talk about it. The very first thing I want to talk about is when you decide you're going to lose weight. One of the first things we do is we try to make healthier food swaps, right? Instead of having chips with our lunch, we might have a bowl of fruit. Instead of pizza, we may have some brown rice and tofu. Think about these foods. The healthier foods, the brown rice, the tofu, the fruit salad, they all weigh more than the others. They have a higher food volume, which means at any point in time, as you're eating these healthier foods, this higher fruit and vegetable content, you have more food going through your digestive tract at any given moment. This food weighs something. I think a lot of times when we think about the food we eat, we don't consider the fact that it's actually still just like there sitting in our stomach until it 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 our body, right? We think the second we eat it, it sort of becomes us. But it's not. It would be the same thing as me holding a bunch of fruit in my hand right here. If I stepped on the scale with this fruit in my hand, it's the exact same thing as if I step on the scale with this fruit in my belly. So that is one reason why the scale can go up, because you are literally consuming a higher amount of food, higher water content food, higher fiber content food. And all of these are good things, and they are ultimately going to help you on your weight loss journey. But in the beginning, because of the place that you're coming from, it can cause an increase in the scale initially. Don't panic. This is a good thing. Let's keep going with this. What other dietary changes do you make when you start a diet? Most people are going to, and I recommend that you probably should, focus on getting in slightly higher protein than you were getting before. I happen to think that it's funny that when people find out that I'm vegan, so many people ask me, of course, the question,
where do you get your protein?
I don't even have to say it, you already thought it. And I find it kind of amusing that most of the people that I know that are not vegan do not get in the same amount of protein that I do, because I'm very conscious of it. So whether you're vegan or you're not, when you're going on a weight loss journey, it is in your best interest to focus on higher protein foods. These are going to digest more slowly, support muscle growth, and increase satiety, which is how full you feel at any point in time, which is going to make you less hungry for cookies and chips at the end of the day. But did you catch one of those things I said? It's going to digest more slowly. Of the three macronutrients, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, proteins digest more slowly than the other two. So not only do we have a higher volume of food in our digestive tract at any point in time, but if we're now eating high fiber foods, high protein foods, it's traveling through us even slower, which means it's hanging around for a little bit longer, which also can contribute to the scale being higher. But don't fret over this, you're making the right choices. If you were to go back to eating lower protein and lower volume foods, not only would you be a lot hungrier, but you may still be getting over the amount of calories that you need for way less food. And even if you are lucky enough to lose weight in this situation, there's a much higher likelihood that it's going to be muscle. And if you lose muscle and not fat, you may actually end up with a slower metabolism in the long run. What's another change we make when we go on a diet? Most of us. We increase our hydration. We all know that we are probably not drinking enough water throughout the day, so when we decide we are going to make a concerted effort to lose weight, most of us increase our water consumption, which is great. For so many reasons, I don't think I need to explain to you guys right now why drinking more water is helpful, but that also means you're likely better hydrated. Which, isn't that the point? Like, as I'm saying it, it's clicking in your head, oh, I'm better hydrated, but what does that mean? It means that your body is holding more water, which a lot of us think of as a bad thing, but that is literally what hydration is making sure that everywhere in your body that needs to be hanging on to water is. Now, you can certainly be retaining excess water, that's a separate story, but if you are properly hydrated, you're going to weigh more than if you are not. That water is helping oxygen get where it needs to go in your body by making sure your blood is the right viscosity. It helps nutrients get to where they need to go. It helps your skin, your hair, your eyes, all your mucous membranes stay the way they are supposed to be. It is all a very positive thing, but the same way as if I'm holding a couple of apples in my hand and I weigh more when I step on the scale, if I'm holding a couple bottles of water and step on the scale, same thing is gonna happen. So you stepping on the scale is not an indication that your diet is not going the way that you want it to be going. A lot of times it is actually an indication that it is going exactly the way you need it to be going. You just need to stick it out. So hydration and water play a huge role in our body weight, which is why you hear about people who are trying to make certain weight classes for strength sports or wrestling, for example, and they do all of these things to do a water cut so that they can make their weight class. Ask them. Even they know this isn't the healthiest thing to do. They're doing it as a means to an end to get into their weight class, not because they think it's like healthier. They shouldn't normally have that water. Guess what they do the second they make weight? They go try to get their weight back to exactly where it was before they started water depleting, because that's how important hydration is for health and athletics. Speaking of water, another change that almost every single person is going to make when they embark on a weight loss journey is they are going to change their exercise habits. Maybe they weren't exercising at all before, and now you've decided you're going to do cardio and strength training. Or maybe you were doing a little bit before, but now you're doing more, or just bringing more intensity to it. Within an hour of starting to do cardiovascular activity, your body starts to increase your blood volume. The increased cardio requires more oxygen be delivered to various parts of your body. And what is the vehicle by which we deliver oxygen to the body? It is our blood. So our body increases our blood volume, which is mostly water. Most of your blood is water, and therefore the scale goes up. Now, we wouldn't call this water retention. Increased blood volume is a good thing, but it will make the scale go up. Along the same lines, if you just started strength training, we all know that feeling. The day after you do a strength training session, when you haven't done one in a long time, or when you change a workout, or when you hit a new PR, you're probably going to be kind of sore the next day. And if you haven't trained out in a long time, you're going to be, oh my God, it hurts walking down the stairs sore the next day. This will pass. Don't worry, you will not stay that sore forever. But if you have a sore muscle in your body, that muscle is inflamed. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Certainly too much inflammation is a bad thing, but inflammation is also a necessary mechanism for building muscle, which I'm guessing is something that you're also trying to do. But when something is inflamed, just like if you got a cut on your hand or your arm, it would swell up. Those little micro tears in your muscles are also swelling, and that's retaining water, thus making the scale go up a little bit. And as you use your muscles more and build more muscle, our bodies will begin to store more glycogen, aka carbohydrates, in those muscles. One thing a lot of people don't know is that carbohydrates hold water in the body. Each gram of carbohydrates holds 3 to 4 grams of water when it is stored in the body. So when you start increasing your hydration, even if your carbohydrates may be lower than what they were before, if your hydration has improved, you are likely going to store more water in those carbohydrates. So what is the takeaway here? The takeaway is, if after week 1 or week 2, or maybe even week 3, you're seeing the scale go up a little bit, or certainly not seeing it go down, don't panic. If you are doing all of the right things, if you are following your program, if you are following appropriate macros, the correct amount of strength training and cardio for yourself, it will eventually go down. Do not on week 1 say, oh, the scale went up, I need to change all my macros and increase my cardio, blah, blah, blah. Give it at least 4 weeks before you start to make changes. Your macros may need to be changed. Your exercise may need to be changed. But if you do it too early and you didn't actually need to, you're gonna find yourself in a bind where eventually you're gonna hit a plateau and you're gonna have nowhere to go. So better to start a little bit too high on the calories and have somewhere to go than start too low and get stuck very early on. Give it at least 4 weeks before you change it. And all of this stuff can be very confusing, and it can be really hard to make those calls for ourselves. If this is something that you're struggling with, that's what me and my team do here at Vegan Proteins. That's what we've been doing since 2008. We help vegans get in the best shape of their life in the most sane and sustainable ways. We have helped almost 3,000 vegans now build muscle, burn fat, feel their best, look their best, and most importantly, keep their sanity. So if this is something that you're interested in or you want help with, I'll leave a link to the coaching assessment down below. Definitely go check that out. Fill it out, you'll hear back from myself or one of the coaches within a business day. And if you found this video helpful, please send it to somebody that you think needs to hear it. They just started their diet and they're panicking because nothing's happening. I assure you, if things are set up appropriately, things are happening. You just need to be patient. If you like the video, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, all the things I'm supposed to tell you to do at the end of a YouTube video, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.